All right, welcome to the Comic Book Shop of Doom here on awesomestreaming.com. On whatever platform we're on, we're looking for a new host to host our videos. So I got an idea what I'm going to do. So we do videos every day for the most part. Some days I take a break, some days I do a lot more videos. Here, this just broke 51 minutes ago. Thor, the Dark World director, would love its own or his own Snyder Cut moment. So the guy that directed it was named Alan Taylor. He took over for Patty Jenkins. She got she left the project. I think it was over creative differences, if I'm not mistaken. That came out in 2013. Okay, November 2013. I went and I saw it on the Thursday before it officially came out on Friday. I went to a 3-movie run. They played the original Thor, then they played the Avengers, and then they played Thor: The Dark World. So I saw 3 movies. I remember getting there at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I didn't get home till like 11:30 at night. And I had a great time. I got a poster, a lanyard. Between the movies, they would give you 20-minute breaks where they'd say, okay, go to the bathroom, go to the concession stand. This is the time we're going to start the next movie on the dot. So if you're not back, you're going to miss something. So that was great. Loved it. Had a good time. But here, finding out that Alan Taylor is talking about how halfway through the movie, they cut his vision of what it was going to be. And he wanted it to be more of Game of Thrones like, because he's directed episodes of Game of Thrones and he's doing the new Sopranos movie that's coming out this week, The Many Saints of Newark. So he wants, to go back and re-edit the film the way he wanted it to be. And I'm all for that. And Disney should do it too, because that's an alternate version that they could put on their streaming service and have a big premiere for it. You get the director in your corner where he's like, hey, that's a cool idea. You say, hey, man, at the time we didn't think this was going to take, but now, okay, it's 8 years ago. Let's revisit this movie and do it how you wanted it. And it's an alternate cut. Everybody wins, and they probably would have to pay the guy to come back and do some restructuring. And by getting him in your corner again, you may be able to do future projects with the guy. So it's, I don't know how he ended his relationship with Marvel, if he still has one. He doesn't really say in here. He says the usual stuff like, oh, I like Kevin Feige and blah, 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 blah. And, but he's like halfway through, they started changing the movie. So I don't know, they look at the footage and they say, hey, this isn't working. We're going to do it this way or not. So who knows? But I'm all for it. And I think that it's just an extra version of the movie. And I bet you he's probably got the stuff filmed. Or if not, they could get it cheap. That's the main thing is what do we have to film? How much is it going to cost to structure this? Did he do the scenes with the people? Well, I know Anthony Hopkins is in there as Odin. So he's in his 80s. So if there's any scenes where you need to have reshot with him, you better get to it because, the guy is already past this prime of life. So, just saying, I'm not wishing any bad harm on Anthony Hopkins, but he's up there in age and you better get it done now if any of that stuff keys into him or any of these older people. Anybody can go at any time. But that's one of the things, But yeah, I'd like to see an alternate cut of Thor: The Dark World and see how it is. I didn't think it was bad. I remember going to the comic book shop and talking to the guy in there, and he was asking me who was the villain. And when I was telling him it was the Dark Troll Malekith, and he looked at me and I explained where he was from in the comics, and he was like, I remember that guy. So I'm like, it's cool that they were using obscure villains because it builds the universe. What are they going to do? Have Thanos the villain of every movie? It's like, come on. So they did have a story where it was a different guy. And that's what I think can build a lot of these comic book movies is you can't have he's going to save the world every time. You got to have just a story where he fights some guy. And this guy was out to destroy Asgard. So he wasn't out to destroy Earth, but he was out to destroy Asgard. So, I mean, it was a good movie for what it was, you know. I enjoyed it when I saw it, and I'd like to see this new version if it ever comes to be. Everybody have a good day.